likes to act up a little bit. So, with all of that, I want to get to this because this is something that this guy, coach number 2, has wanted to do for a long, long time. It's just a reading of sorts. And then the opportunity came up, and, well, basically, talk us through what's going on here. You go ahead, Coach Mazer. You talk us through. What do you want to do here?
Well, whenever we like to pay a tribute to those we've lost along the way, right?
Yes,
like that tends
true.
to happen. We've done that. Obviously, we're not on constantly so we can catch everybody, but when we have an opportunity, I like to play tribute.
Okay.
And I know that AJ's favorite movie, or one of his favorite movies of all time,
I think it's his favorite.
Field of Dreams.
He made your brother listen to it on tape.
So good.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite of all times. I get chills still watching. I watched the.
If you love baseball and you love your dad, you're gonna cry. Basically, how it goes.
That's pretty much how it goes,
yeah,
right? And just like, there's so many messages in this movie, and it's very nostalgic to me. And then it's like, as it gets going, as time passes, it even more so, because then you see older vehicles and you really feel the time that it came out. And yeah, I love watching that movie. So, but James Earl Jones sadly passed away.
Yes.
Had a good run, gave us many great moments,
Yes,
many great movies that he appeared in, iconic moments in film.
Agreed.
Largely due to his voice that I've learned he struggled with, because he had a stutter apparently. So that's when his little pauses and stuff that he would go through, and his cadence in his voice was largely because he was fighting a stutter.
Okay.
So anyway, that's interesting. But we got to roll.
Yes, because we do have bands coming in here. That's okay. We can push them back a little bit. We'll just let them know when they come in that we're doing a little tribute, and they'll come on after. We got lots of time. How's that sound? Do we know where we're starting?
We're starting, yeah.
Like
so it'd be like 137. We're doing a table read, right?
Who am I playing?
So you are going to be Shoeless Joe Jackson.
I'm going to be Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Okay.
How is Shoeless Joe Jackson? I've seen this movie. It's been a while. What's my motivation? Am I like grizzled and old? Am I young?
No,
Shoeless
Joe Jackson would be, at this point, he's already made it to heaven, right? He's very relaxed. He's
in the house.
He's guiding the main character along the way in the show, right? Just like, this is what needs to happen. It's very matter of fact, very chill, straightforward, very calm. Whereas, yeah.
Okay.
But you're not reading yet.
Yeah.
So are you, AJ, can you handle this? Do you know where we're starting? 137 continued? In the photos that I shared.
Yeah,
so
I got those.
So all you're going to read is Mark shakes his head sadly. So you're the narrator and you're Ray. And then I think I'm Mark. I think I'm Annie, which if the voices sound the same, they're brother and sister, that's fine. And then I might be Doc as well.
Am I anybody?
Yeah, you got the biggest words in the whole thing.
Oh, boy.
You are Terrence Mann. And you are Karen.
Perfect.
So you're the child choking on a hot dog.
Okay.
And you're Terrence Mann.
See, when I was talking about how this would be a lot easier if
I just
had a
come on
chance
for like 17
or an opportunity
pages.
to prepare
you
for this
might
girl
thanks for
instead of
bringing me up
jumping in.
now. We're gonna, my part's
He says
gonna
you
get
can't
cut
do
for
a
time by the
tribute
time we get
a
here.
week later. It has to be today. So we're forcing this in.
We have to go.
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
All right. So coming
Ready?
in, here we go. Take it away, coach number 1.
Mark shakes his head sadly at the thought that these otherwise sensible relations have lost their minds.
Ray, it's time to put away our little fantasies and come down to earth.
It's not a fantasy, Mark. They're real. Mark obviously doesn't see anyone on the field.
Who's real?
Shoeless Joe Jackson, the White Sox, the Giants. He can't see any of it.
Why do you hit
deeper voice?
Me?
Yeah, you're doing the big guy.
He can't see any of it.
No, go deeper.
He can't see any of it.
There you go. And who's that? Babe Ruth? Ray smiles, but you have to say that.
Savoring the moment.
That's you, AJ. Ray smiles, savoring the moment.
Ray smiles, savoring the moment. As a matter of fact, it's Terrence Mann.
How do you do? I'm Michael Jackson.
Is that me now?
It's Ray. Ray, we have to settle this thing right now.
I'm not selling my home, Mark.
You have no money. You got a stack of bills to choke a pig, and come fall, you've got no crop to sell. But I have a deal to offer you that will allow you to stay on this land. This has Oh, got it.
That's me.
That's you.
This has Ray's attention.
Yeah.
Mark climbs the bleachers to stand closer to him.
Come on, Karen,
That's
is that
you.
me?
Daddy?
Yeah, I got.
Daddy?
Daddy, we don't have to sell the farm, but no one pays her any attention. All eyes are on Mark. I just said his part again.
Continued.
Here we go.
Let us buy you out, and we'll leave the house. You can live it on rent-free as long as you want.
And what about the baseball field?
Do you realize what this land is worth?
Over $2,200 an acre.
Then you must realize we cannot keep a useless baseball field in the middle of a rich farmland.
No deal, Mark. We're staying.
We don't have to go.
That's very good.
Thank you.
Oh, that's me.
Explode.
No, this is Maisie. Coach,
I've got it.
He's angry. Watch this.
You're virtually bankrupt, and I'm offering you a way to keep your house because I love my sister. I've got partners who don't give a damn about you, and they're ready to foreclose right now.
Daddy, we don't have to sell the farm.
Karen, please.
Wait. They all turn to Karen.
People will come.
What people, sweetheart?
From all over. They'll just decide to take a vacation. See? And they'll come to Iowa City. And they'll think it's really boring. So they'll take a drive. And they'll drive down our road. And they'll see the lights. And they'll think it's really pretty. Ray? Oh, that's you.
He's
Ray?
narrating. Yeah.
Ray, Annie, and Man listen with wonder to this vision.
So the people in the cars, they'll drive up and they'll want to pay us, like buying a ticket.
Mark looks at them as if they're crazy.
From all over, they'll just decide to take a vacation, see? And they'll come to Iowa City and they'll think it's really boring. So they'll take a drive and they'll drive down our road and they'll see the lights and they'll think it's really pretty.
Ray, Annie, and Man listen with wonder to this vision.
So the people in the cars, they'll drive up and they'll want to pay us, like buying a ticket. Is this the same page that we just did?
No, you're doing really
Okay,
good.
Just want to make sure.
You had me.
Yep.
I was getting chills, and now it's there.
I ruined it.
Subsided a
That's what I
little
do.
bit.
Mark looks at them as if they're all crazy.
You're not really listening. You're not listening to this seriously, are you?
Am I Annie?
And I'm Annie too.
Okay, go ahead.
Sister. So
Yep.
very similar voice.
Yep.
Yes.
Very nice voice. Okay, Mark.
Why would anybody pay money to come here? Karen looks like. Oh, you got it. We're not.
Karen looks at her uncle Mark as if he were a simpleton.
To watch the game, and it'll be just like when they were little kids a long time ago, and it was summertime, and they'll watch the game and remember what it was like.
Ray and Annie couldn't be prouder of their daughter than they are right now.
What the hell is she talking about? She's talking about people seeing their memories, touching their past.
Should I be this turned on?
Yes.
Sorry, keep going.
People will come.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be like one of those tiny French restaurants that have no sign. You find it by instinct. They'll be drawn. Okay, this is all fascinating, but the fact remains that you don't have the money to bring the mortgage up to date, so you still have to sell. I'm sorry, but you have no choice.
He produces a
big
document and
moment.
hands it to Ray with a pen. Ray looks at it. He doesn't know what to do.
Ray.
Ray looks at Man.
And then is this me in there?
Speaks now as he's not spoken for many
Okay.
years, as Terrence Mann, master of words, spellbinder.
People will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa for reasons they can't even fathom. They'll turn up your driveway, not knowing for sure why they're doing it, and arrive at your door, innocent as children, longing for the past. Of course, we won't mind if you look around, you'll say. It's only $20 per person, and they'll pass over the money without even looking at it. For it is money they have, and peace they lack.
Just sign the papers, Ray.
Is that me?
Uh,
Is not one to give up?
Wow, that would be the narrator saying he's not
Okay.
one to give up. Then you can keep going.
Here we go. They'll walk out to the bleachers and sit in shirt sleeves,
Well, just like
in
you.
the perfect evening, or they'll find they have reserved seats somewhere in the grandstand or along one of the baselines, wherever they sat when they were children and cheered their heroes. They'll watch the game, and it will be as if they'd dipped themselves in magic waters. The memories will be so thick, they'll have to brush them away from their faces.
Spellbound, Ray's put the papers down. Mark picks them up again. He's battling man for Ray's attention.
Listen to me. Tomorrow morning, when the bank opens, they will foreclose.
People will come, Ray.
You're broke, Ray. Sell now or lose everything.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, it's a piece of our past. It reminds us of all that once was good, and that could be again. People will come. People will most definitely come. Man has moved everyone. Oh, that's my.
No, you got it. You got it.
All
I
right.
know, that's me.
Oh,
Man
that's
has
you.
moved everyone. Man has moved everyone but Mark, with the beauty of his words and the passion in his voice. Behind him, the assembled ball players respectfully applaud.
That was beautiful.
The other
The
players
players know.
nod, also teary-eyed.
Beautiful.
Nailed it.
Players on. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, that's you again.
narrator. Oh, this is so funny, man.
Back to you, AJ.
Players on the other side of him.
Who's Buck Weaver?
Who's Buck Weaver?
Curdy Anderson,
Curdy
our third
did
man
it.
on the board.
Curdy's on the board.
sorry.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. Okay.
We're almost
No,
there.
he
No, that's
crushed
perfect.
it.
Yep.
He's the baseball players.
Yeah.
So now you're the players on either side. Jab ribs. That's you, AJ.
The players on either side of him jab his ribs with their elbows, but man,
Here we
Ray, and Eddie laugh with pleasure.
Ray, you will lose everything and you will be evicted. Ray, oh, that's you again. We need. I see why they
You need to
highlight.
separate.
I see why they highlight things.
You need to separate narrator.
Yeah, we're
from-
learning.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's fine. It's tribute.
I think just in time for it to
Ray,
be almost done.
Ray looks at the papers with dread. He looks at Shoeless Joe and the players. He looks at his family. Then he turns back to Mark. It's decision time. I'm not signing. Mark shakes his head sadly and he hugs Ray. The players breathe a great relief, a sigh of relief. And Man smiles.
Ray.
Ray looks up at Man, who, with a gentle tilt of the head, directs Ray's attention to the house. Ray looks behind him toward the house. Ray's point of view is there's 142 cars have parked in front of the house. More coming quietly down the driveway. Dozens of cars. Cars with out-of-state license plates. Some people have gotten out of their cars and wait patiently. One or two families sit on their hoods and have set up picnic dinners on their station wagons' tailgates. Ray, Annie, Karen, and Man are deeply happy, but not terribly surprised to see these people. They're here. Mark looks at the house and then back to Ray.
Oh, I'm not. Who's here?
Mark.
Who's here?
oh, it's supposed to be Mark.
You don't see those cars? All those
Narc.
people?
Don't do this, you son of a bitch. There's no cars, no people. Uncle Mark. Oh, that's you.
That's me. Uncle Mark, I can see them.
We all can. You're crazy. You're all batshit crazy.
Watch your language, Mark.
You build a baseball field in the middle of nowhere. You sit around here and stare at nothing.
Am I Karen?
You're Karen.
Of
Yeah,
course.
always have been.
It's not nothing.
Mark grabs Karen's arm and pulls her to her feet as if she were Exhibit A.
And you've turned your daughter into a goddamn moron.
Get your hands off of her! Ray rises threateningly, and Mark turns toward him. In so doing, he twists little Karen off balance.
I'm trying to help you, goddammit.
In that split second, they hear a strangled gasp and see Karen falling forward from the top row of the bleachers. Karen? Hold on, I've lost my spot.
Yeah, the next spot.
Oh, yes.
The hot dog flies
Her
off.
dog flies off. Her hot dog flies off. The bun and wiener separating in midair. One small sandal bounces end over end and lands at the foot of the bleacher. It takes forever for her body to come down with a sickening thud on the hard green boards on one of the bottom rows. The others rush down to where she lies, face up. Ray is first, but he doesn't know what to do. Annie and Man hover. Mark is horror-stricken, but no one knows what to do.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Annie. I didn't mean to.
Karen is unconscious and seems to be fighting for breath. Ray and Annie's eyes meet in anguish.
Should we move her?
Just get the car. Annie springs for the house. The tourists by their cars watch quietly.
Is there a doctor, a nurse, any of you?
They sadly shake their heads no. Annie races inside. Back at the bleachers, most of the White Sox players stand by left field, the fence, staring silently.
How long?
It's a 20-minute drive. Man winces. He knows that could be fatal. Ray kneels by Karen. Her nose and one side of her face have been scraped by the fall. Blood starts to trickle from her nose, across her cheek, and down her neck. She's becoming bluer, and her cough is faint, even though she's in another room. Mark takes off his $300 pale green velvet corduroy jacket and is wordlessly holding it out to Ray. Ray takes the jacket and covers Karen gently. Karen is getting paler, bluer, and her breathing more strained and distant. Karen? Says Ray. Then, without reason, Ray slowly turns toward the field. The White Sox stand near him by the fence. The Giants stay around their bench. All except one, young Archie Graham. Archie Graham has noticed the commotion in the bleachers and he starts to lope across the field. Annie has pulled the car over and honks. Ray holds up his hand for her to wait. His eyes are on young Archie Graham. As Graham gets closer, his features begin to change and his step slows. He reaches the end of the fence, around which no player can pass. And when he emerges from the shadows on the bleacher side, he's no longer young Moonlight Graham, the ball player of long ago, but instead Doc Graham, the old man from Chisholm, Minnesota. His baseball glove is turned into a black doctor's bag. As Doc Graham approaches,
what have we got here?
She fell. Doc kneels beside her and instantly knows what's wrong.
This child's choking to death.
He picks her up with one hand under his shoulders and the other under his knees, seats himself on the bleachers and turns her face down. Supporting her chest with one hand, he delivers a series of sharp blows between her shoulder blades with the heel of his other hand. Annie honks again. Ray waves her to him. Mark can't believe what he is seeing. Suddenly, Karen's diaphragm expands as she sucks in air. Doc reaches around and pries her mouth open, releasing a sizable piece of hot dog and bun. As he turns her over, we can see the blueness disappearing from her face as she continues to breathe deeply. Doc peels back each eyelid in turn, stares at the pupil for a few seconds, and lets the eyes close.
She's okay. I don't think the fall really hurt her, just the dog in her throat. She'll be coming around in a minute or two.
Thank you, Doc. Doc looks deeply into Ray's eyes.
No, son, thank you.
It's just now sinking in for Ray what Doc Graham has sacrificed to save his child. Ray looks to the field and then back to the doctor. Oh my God, you can't go back.
It's okay. It's okay.
Mark is slack-jawed. He has seen something magical happen and can't explain it.
I saw all of a sudden this kid runs off the field and turns into whatever. Good enough.
Yeah, that was you. That's good.
Oh, my bad.
He looks questioningly at Annie. She smiles reassuringly.
There's hope for you yet, Mark.
Doc Graham stands and picks up his black bag.
Well, I best be getting back home before Alicia starts thinking I've got a girlfriend.
Doc walks around the edge of the fence and heads for the outfield door. The players respectfully make way for him.
Have, rookie.
Good work, Doc.
That works. Way to go, Doc.
You were good.
Thanks, boys. Win one for me someday, will you?
He passes them.
Okay, now you're up.
Which
Shoeless
one?
Joe. With Shoeless Joe. Hey, rookie.
Oh.
Hey, rookie.
Sorry.
Hey, rookie.
Hey, rookie.
That was good. Doc
You were
Graham
good.
turns. Only now do Doc Graham's eyes shine with tears. He smiles and disappears through the door. On the side, Karen is coming to Ray and Annie by her side. Some of the players start to gather up equipment. Shoeless Joe calls out to Ray.
We're going to call it a night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Good night.
Hey,
I think, you know what?
you want to come with us?
Well, let's keep going. This is where it gets good, too.
Yeah, this is where it gets good. Joe starts to trot off the field, and then he stops and turns back to the bleachers.
Shoeless Joe.
Hey, you want to come with us? Did you say that already?
I did.
Yep.
No. Ray's jaw
Not
drops.
you. Him.
Oh.
And then you say him.
And then I say, come with you.
Adrian says him.
No, Shoeless Joe says it, not you. And then he points to man. He goes, him.
And then you
And I go,
question
him?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then
Him?
And I say, come with you.
Out there.
What is out there?
Come find out.
Well, wait a second. Why him? Shoeless Joe and the other players wait for man to join them, ignoring Ray's question. But I built this field. You wouldn't be here if it weren't for me.
Ray, for God's sake, I'm unattached. You've got a family.
This takes Ray down a peg or two. But I want to know what's out there. I want to see it.
There's a reason they chose me, just as there was a reason they chose you to find me.
Oh, yeah? Why?
Because, you big jerk, I gave that interview.
What interview?
The one about Ebbets Field. The one that charged you up and sent you all the way to Boston to find me.
Then you lied to me.
You were kidnapping me at the time, you asshole. Think of it, Ray. Maybe there's an Ebbets Field still floating around out there somewhere. And maybe I'll get to sit in the stands and watch a 20-year-old kid with a smooth face and kinky hair try out for the 1948 Dodgers.
So I do all the work, and all I get to see is everybody else's dream come true? Is that it?
What are you saying, Ray?
I'm saying I'm happy for you, and I'm happy for him, but after all, what's in it for me?
Is that why you did this? For you?
There's something out there for me, Ray, and what a story it'll make. A man being able to touch the perfect dream. And scene.
Chills.
Wow.
Rest in
Chills.
peace,
Best thing I've ever done in my
the
life.
great James
Pinnacle.
Earle Jones. Wowzers. You know, I feel like we should give a prize to anyone who sat all the way through that. That was incredible.
I bet you.
That was great.
I bet you word went around the interwebs,
Mm-hmm.
and there's probably 5 people watching live.
I think the boys are saying we had 2.
2?
Maybe
Well,
one.
that's double the normal.
That's pretty good.
That's a draw.
Okay, boys, thank you so much. Adrian, I'd love to talk more. We got a band in here we got to talk to and introduce to the world here, so we're going to get to that. Have a great week. We'll talk to you again next Wednesday. And again, you know, I think that worked out pretty good. I told Maze no, but by the end it was pretty fun, wasn't it?
It was a lot of fun. You guys have a great day, great week.
You bet. Take care, brother. Coach number 1, everybody. Here we go.